At one time, Predator movies were the most masculine and testosterone-filled movies at the theaters. But now, with movies like Prey, badass action movies are no longer just for men. We think it's cool that the Predator franchise has been able to adapt and change over the years, just like the titular Predator. So sit back and relax as, in this video, we rank the Predator films, including Prey, starting off with the infamous crossover 2004's Alien vs. Predator. Paul W.S. Anderson wrote and directed this dream crossover, which originated in the comics. The crossover premiere follows the aliens and predators fighting in the cold at a pyramid to see who comes out on top in the end. We're still waiting for the RoboCop vs. Terminator movie crossover. Although the crossover had a lot of hype surrounding it, there were some problems with it. First of all, the PG-13 rating held it back as it definitely prevented the gore and violence fans wanted to see in a movie that had aliens and predators fighting each other. Also, the setting doesn't really help either character. After all the excitement about these two famous franchises joining forces, it was a huge letdown. And hot take, because of this, Alien vs. Predator is average at best and terrible at worst. Next up, we have Predators 2010. Predators, directed by Nimrod Antal, starred Adrian Brody, Alice Braga, Mahershala Ali, and many others. The story revolves around a mercenary and a bunch of other dangerous people who end up on a faraway planet where predators, hence the title, try to kill them. Pretty standard stuff for a Predator movie. Some people think Predators isn't as good as it could be, but we think the movie has its good points. We think it was better and had more action than the first two, mainly because it's a relatively recent film and introduces some new creatures and predators that look way more badass. Some well-known actors in the cast, such as Adrian Brody, absolutely nailed their role. The way Adrian commanded his presence on screen is just sweet. All in all, 2010's Predator just has the right amount of action and horror stuff, and we absolutely love it. Followed by the sequel to the original Predator movie, Predator 2. Predator 2, directed by Stephen Hopkins, starred Danny Glover, Gary Busey, and Bill Paxton. As for the plot, this Predator is in a new jungle this time, the concrete jungle. Yeah, it wasn't very smart the first time either. Up until recently, Predator 2 was ranked as our second favorite Predator movie. But when you look at the other movies, that doesn't say much. Still, Predator 2 has a lot going for it. It takes place in a city, which works well, and the Predator effects in this movie are really cool. Also, as the main character, Danny Glover works in favor of the movie because he's so different from Arnold in the first movie. In our opinion, Predator 2 is cheesy and silly, and that's the reason we like it. Next on the list is the latest addition to the franchise. Directed by Dan Trachtenberg, the recent adaptation of the Predator films is Prey. The film stars Amber Midthunder, Michelle Thrush, and Dane DeLiegro, and revolves around a Comanche tribe attacked by fur trappers in 1719. And, well, a predator too. In the middle of all of this is Midthunder's character, a female Comanche warrior who kicks their butts to prove to herself and her tribe that she's the most badass of them all. Prey is definitely the second best of the Predator movies. In fact, it's the best Predator movie in years, if not ever. Putting it way back in time and showing a predator on Earth on its first hunt is a great way to balance out the story arc of our heroine. And we also love the setting, which makes us want to see more Predator movies set in the past. But even though Prey is a great film overall, there could only be one best Predator movie of all time. Finally, we have the OG film that started it all. Released in 1987, the OG Predator movie was directed by John McTiernan and starred the iconic Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Jesse Ventura, and a few other notable actors. The plot revolves around a group of alpha males who go into the jungle on a rescue mission, only to find that a deadly alien is after them. Simple, but it works, and has worked several times. We know we just went on a rant about how the idea of masculinity is kind of old-fashioned in the year 2022, but yeah, the movie Predator is very manly. Like, there's a whole scene where two grown men show how tough they are by arm wrestling in the air. And the thing about the first Predator is that it sticks to this idea of masculinity, even making it an important part of the plot. Arnold, who was the biggest action hero on the planet at the time, wasn't the hunter in this movie. Instead, he was the one being hunted, making him the prey, which made us nervous for a guy who could probably lift an SUV when he was at his strongest. If this piece of meat couldn't kill a predator, then who can? This contrast and the fact that it takes so long for the predator to show itself makes this movie legendary and, in the end, the best Predator movie ever made. No matter how good it is, we don't think any other Predator movie will ever be better than than this one. Now, in other related news. Firstly, buckle up as the Predator himself is headed to the MCU. Dean DeLegro doesn't say anything about his upcoming projects because it's against the rules, but he did confirm that he's working for both Marvel and Lucasfilm. The actor recently revealed that he's working on an MCU project, which sounds more like a movie than one of the many Marvel shows on Disney+. That doesn't help much though, because he could be talking about any of a number of upcoming Marvel movies: Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and The Marvels are this year's upcoming MCU projects, and all of these movies have almost finished filming or are in post-production, so he could be talking about any of them. However, the last two movies finished filming earlier this year, so they might be the candidates for a movie that wrapped a few months ago, according to DeLegro. And if that's true, he might be playing another kind of alien creature, making a good chance that we won't see his face again. Next up, streaming numbers reveal huge viewership for Predator prequel. After Prey came out on Hulu, the streaming service confirmed that it had the biggest debut of any TV show or movie on their service. Nielsen's viewership numbers for the week of August 1st to 7th show how many people watched Prey, and to be honest, it was a lot of people, like a whole lot of people. According to Nielsen, more than 585 million minutes of Prey were watched in its first 3 days. This means that about 5.8 million Hulu subscribers watched it, and the film is 100 minutes long. Insane! And if we talk about this week, it was the fourth most watched streaming movie, behind Lightyear on Disney Plus with 1.306 billion minutes watched, Uncharted on Netflix with 1.014 billion minutes watched, and Purple Hearts on Netflix with 828 million minutes watched. Prey did beat out some other big hits though, including The Gray Man on Netflix. Finally, Amber Midthunder responds to super woke claims. Fans who have seen the movie already know that Amber Midthunder plays a teenage female Comanche warrior who hunts down a predator in the movie. And in a recent interview with People magazine, she expressed how a lot of people perceive Prey as some super woke F the patriarchy story, but that's clearly not what it's about. The actress added that it's not a girl going against what men tell her she can or can't do, but it's a person who feels called to do something, and the people who know her don't think that's it. Midthunder also talked about how people don't know where they came from. She stated that people don't know much about the history of Native people, so they don't know what kind of warriors we were. Well, she's not wrong, and added that the natives were known as some of the most fierce warriors. So yeah, basically she's saying that women have been fighting and hunting since the dawn of time. We're just getting to see it now on the big screen. Comanche women ran the households and did more than just cook and clean. These tribal women also owned their homes, and the men of the tribe were mostly hunters who sometimes went to war to protect their families. But we have to remember that the movie is loosely based on historical tales. But for the most part, this is a work of fiction. The actress finally concluded her interview by saying that she never stops thinking about representation and what it does, and especially a movie like this, and how it shows indigenous people and what that might mean, or how people might take it. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about this list? Do you have other favorite Predator movies? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.